People spend different money on the same item depending on the value they can get out of it. This observation line, quote if you want, sets the stage for one of the most scary aspects of moving to Italy: taxes. Understanding the real fears and addressing them with clarity, honesty, and why not a little bit of empathy can definitely make the dream of living in Italy less intimidating and most doable. Now we're discussing the top tax-related concerns people we speak with face before moving to Italy, why some may decide against moving to Italy, and the broad picture of value in such a decision. So let's start with some biggest fears, such as fear of the unknown tax regime, how taxes in Italy work. So the question is, what if the Italian tax system is too complex to understand? And this is a legit question. Many expats worry about navigating Italy's tax rules and regulations. They fear they might miss something critical, facing penalties or missing deadlines. They're scared about high tax rates. This is a common misconception. Are taxes in Italy too high to justify moving? Italy is known for its progressive tax system, where income tax rates can reach up to 43%, the capital gain tax to 26%. And for some, this creates a perception, and yes, I'm using this word on purpose, that much of their earned money will be lost. They're concerned about dual taxation, double taxation risks. Will I be taxed twice on my income if I move to Italy? Expats often fear that their own country and Italy at the same time will both claim taxes on their global income despite the dual taxation treaties. What about the lack of clarity on exemptions, on benefits in general? Am I eligible for tax breaks? And if yes, how do I claim them in practice? Italy nowadays offers, to date of course, some incentives to new residents: the impatriati regime, the 50% off, the flat tax for high net individuals, the 5% regime forfettario, the 7% for people retiring from work in southern regions. But understanding eligibility and the process can be really confusing. What about the inheritance tax and the wealth tax? What happens to my assets if I move to Italy? What happens to my assets if I pass away and I am in Italy? Expats moving here fear inheritance tax laws, domestic laws, the wealth tax on properties, on investments abroad, on retirement accounts abroad, which can definitely affect their financial plans. And yes, compliance challenges. How can I stay compliant in Italy with so many different deadlines and rules? Filing taxes in Italy is different from many other countries, and the paperwork, the forms, can be overwhelming, and I know what I'm talking about. The instructions, even the instructions of the tax forms are 95% on Italian. Fear of mistakes leads many to, hesitate a little bit more. I'm thinking of retrospective tax audits. Will the Italian tax authorities revisit my past? Fear, very common fear among expats, is being audited years later for not declaring assets or income properly when they first move in the first place. And there is a good reason for them to think so. They don't trust the Italian Revenue Agency. And the following one is, what about currency conversion issues? Will currency fluctuations make taxes even more expensive? How can you predict the exchange rate 1 or 5 years from now? Especially for non-European expats, they often face additional concerns about transferring money and dealing with exchange rates, now and most of all in the future. And then, of course, fear of losing tax-free benefits. Will I lose my tax-free status for certain income streams, such as, special kind of passive income or retirement income for public employees? Many worry that previously untaxed income on their home country, according to the fact that rules here are very unpredictable, could turn pensions and dividends suddenly to be taxed in Italy. So there's a very long list of whys you might decide not to move to Italy. There is a high cost of compliance in general. If your income sources are spread globally all around the world, the cost of hiring a tax consultant, a commercialista, an international tax firm to stay compliant can be substantial. For some, this may outweigh the lifestyle benefits of moving to Italy. It's a sunk cost. The limited benefits of certain profiles. If you're not eligible for any of the Italian tax incentives, such as the flat regime, the 7% pension scheme, you might find that overall the average 23% tax burden really too high for you. And then we cannot help the bureaucracy overload. Our reputation of bureaucratic delays and red tape can push away those who want efficiency, those who are used to efficiency. Taxes are just one part of this concern. The last one is wealth tax. If you own multiple properties or high-value assets abroad, or even just a retirement account, the wealth tax, IVAFE and IVA, depending if you're talking about financial real estate, can definitely hit your fiscal situation and financial situation for the worse every year. Taxes aside, Italy's lower pace of life and cultural differences might not suit everyone. I know what I'm talking about, never moved. Particularly those who are used to fast-paced, business-friendly environments. I might say that despite the fears and challenges, Italy offers many opportunities to those willing to plan and adapt, and not just for everyone, but also to lifestyle, the mindset, and insane logic behind the regulations. The country provides access to excellent healthcare, as many of you already know, quality of life, food, and really competitive tax incentives, but just for the right profiles. If you can read carefully and embrace a comprehensive dual taxation agreement between your country of origin and Italy, you will find out that these treaties prevent you actually from paying taxes twice on the same income. Sometimes, very often, you can deduct all the taxes paid in your home country. Sometimes things are not as bad as they look at the first sight. Programs like the flat tax for high net worth individuals, the 200,000 substitute tax, and tax benefit for digital nomads, the 5% tax regime for business owners, the 7% for pensioners, can make Italy a tax heaven, but just for certain expats. And no, I'm not using random words. Definitely, with the right tax advice, navigating the Italian tax system can become a less painful task on your list. What's the lesson here? You know what I'm thinking. Moving to Italy is not for everyone. The taxes, bureaucracy can be overwhelming for those unprepared or simply unwilling to embrace the adjustments. But, on the other hand, for those who value the lifestyle, the culture, the opportunities Italy offers, the effort is often worth it. It's always a balance between what you pay for and what you get. And the saying goes, people spend different money on the same item depending on the value they can get out of it. And truly, by understanding your financial situation, the true cost, sunk and clear, and the potential benefits, you can determine whether or not Italy is worth the investment for you in terms of money and time. Taxes are just part of the daily expenses. So I invite you to budget them as a mandatory premium to be paid if you want to move to Italy. And everyone can agree on numbers. So the big question now is, what's the value of living in Italy to you?